Salesforce.com is very well known for its CRM capabilities, and since the inception of the Appexchange 5 years ago, our partner network has grown exponentially. With that in mind, I'd like to walk through a quick demo today of some of these partners that we've been working with. This demo is going to walk through integration with SalesMagix, Appextremes using their Conga merge, Docusign, and finishing off with an example of Financialforce. Now bear in mind, what I'll be showing here is really only scratching the surface of what these applications can do. But it should give you an idea of how you can extend Salesforce well beyond just the CRM capabilities. So I'm going to start out today as Scott Thompson. Now Scott is a sales rep, and he's working with one of his customers, Al Miller. Now, the very first thing that we're going to do is to have a look at our opportunities, a very similar view, and we'll have a look at the opportunity that we're working on today with advanced interconnections. I can see that I'm working on a deal here. But if I were on the road, I might want to look at this in a slightly different fashion. Now, SalesMagix has created a really nice way of visualizing our opportunities. This is, of course, available on mobile devices, not just within the browser. But what I'm going to be able to see here is a nice visual of what's happening with all of my opportunities. I can add, filter, search, and group, and really customize this in any way that I normally would within Salesforce. I can, of course, chatter with any one of these objects as well, because they are simply exposed in a different fashion than we normally see in Salesforce. So on an iPad, I'd be able to look at these, go in, view, edit, and change. Now, as Scott, I'm on the road, I'm sitting with my customer, and I'm talking with Al, and I say, well, it looks like we're ready to take this opportunity, and we're going to move it over into the proposal and price quote stage, because really we're ready to start to quote on this. Now, as I drag and drop this, I can go back to look at the opportunity, and of course we can see now the stage has been updated to proposal and price quote, so that can be done immediately. So SalesMagix really gives you the ability to visualize your opportunities in a much better way, helping to increase your adoption. So the next step is to say, well, we're ready to generate a quote. So rather than using the quoting object from within Salesforce, I'm going to go ahead and quote with the merge of Appexchange's Conga merge and Docusign. And in doing so, I'm going to be able to use the Conga composer to create this template based on any template that I create. We can see right now I'm using the Conga Docusign quote. It's going out to Al Miller. I can hit the merge button, which will generate that proposal for me. So I'm going to be able to see exactly what Al Miller, my contact, is going to be able to see. So it'll open up in PDF, and we can quickly have a look at what our quote template is going to look like. So I can scroll down, see the products, etc., and it looks pretty good. I'm ready to send this quote out. So I'm going to send this out, but of course we don't want to email this, or we don't want to have to fax it. I'd like to use Docusign to actually take this document and sign it online. And again, bearing in mind we're just looking at this through a browser, all of this can be done through mobile devices like iPads. So I'm going to generate this particular quote, and we can see that we have a Docusign envelope. I can edit this information. I know who it's going to. I can see what's being sent out. I can even create reminders and expiry sessions in case the quote needs to be followed up on, or I'd like it to expire if it's maybe more than a week. So I'm going to go ahead and send that out to Al, my customer. Now when I'm ready to send that, it will take the document, let me know what the envelope ID is, and Docusign really has all of the legality covered when it comes to signing these documents. So I'm ready to go. I'm going to hit return, and now I'll take the role of our customer, or our prospective customer, Al Miller. So Al's going to jump into his inbox, and we'll refresh the inbox, and I can see, sure enough, here's that Docusign that we have from Scott Thompson. So I'm going to go ahead and review this document, and I can go in and say, yes, I would like to do business with this particular company. I'll review that document, and now using Docusign, I can see up here that there's a place I'd like to start. I can go down and create my own digital signature. So my name's Al Miller, my initials are AM, so I'm going to ask it to adopt my signature. Again, all of this can be done and signed through iPads. So I'm going to go ahead and initial these areas. When I've confirmed my signing, I hit confirm, and now I'm going to be delivering this signed document right back to the customer. To my sales rep. So I'm going to close this out. I'll receive a confirmation when this has been completed, so I'm going to just jump out of that. When I go back into my inbox here as Al Miller, I can see I have signed this document. I can view this within Docusign, or I could have saved the document myself. So now when we go back to the opportunity and refresh the screen, I'll be able to see the Docusign status now has been completed and signed at 1:19. So I can see this was signed almost right away. And that's really a good way of seeing how we can use Appextremes to merge that data and the integration they have with Docusign to sign that online without having to fax anything, without having to make extra phone calls to ask if they've received it. We know that that has been signed. So the last step is really to use an invoicing from Financialforce. And again, bearing in mind, this is only scratching the surface of what Financialforce does. It's a very robust tool, but we're going to create an invoice that's going to allow us to see everything that we've put together from the sign. Obviously, I have to put this as closed in one first. So we win the deal, and now we're ready to send out our invoice. So once I get ready to create this invoice, something else is going to be happening in the background. And that's the last app that we're using, a free app called SurveyForce that you can download from the Appexchange. And SurveyForce is automatically going to send out a survey to our customer to ask them how they feel about the service that we've provided today. So now I can see that invoice that has been generated. I can view all the information about this invoice, including sales tax details, anything that we would use from within Financialforce to track this particular invoice. Now again, as Al, I can go back into my inbox, I have a look, and I can see, well, here's that automatically generated survey. So let's jump into this survey and fill out what we felt about this particular interaction with our customer. I'm going to go ahead and say, yep, this was a very good experience that we had, and I'm just going to say it was awesome, and I'm going to submit that survey. So now we can go back in and have a look at our opportunity we were working on. Now within this opportunity, obviously we have our Docusign status from that Appextremes mail merge. I can see that we have the sales invoice already set up. Hasn't been printed, but we know all the information we need about this particular invoice. And of course, if I want to go back in and have a look at Al's information, I'll be able to see that in fact he has filled out a survey. I can track that information and know exactly how he responded. So this is a very simple example of how we can set up integrations with Appexchange partners. As I mentioned today, I showed SalesMagix and how SalesMagix can take that opportunity view, present it in a very pleasing display that can be viewed on pretty much any mobile device. We looked at our integration with Appextremes, the Conga merge that allows you to go in and extract data from any object within Salesforce. Here we showed it extracting from the opportunity, creating a PDF, and then taking that PDF and merging it with Docusign, being able to sign that document anywhere in the world, as long as you have access to the internet, adopting your signature, and then taking that, delivering it out to our customer for signing, sending it back into Salesforce, closing the opportunity, using the Appexchange for SurveyForce to send out a survey that our customer can fill out and send back to us that we can then report on, and finally using Financialforce to take that invoice, generate it from their suite of products, and create that full sales cycle right from the opportunity to closing with the invoice. To see these different partners and the apps that they have built, you can visit the Appexchange or have a look below this video for the links directly to those applications.